However, if you think about clearly, if Tsang Yok-sing is really that respected for his voters about what they think regarding how to decide on this piece of political reform, then he should resign his seat and go back to the voters, just like joining the de facto referendum and let people to decide what to do. But of course, that's not his action.
So you remember what Long Hair said on the platform in the Kowloon Park? He said if Tsang Yok-sing has the guts to come out, he do the de facto referendum again with him.
That's right.
If he would really like to seek his voters' opinions on that.
Yeah, that's true. I also remember Long Hair was doing quite a radical dance, wasn't he?
Yes.
At the rally as well, actually. So I don't know what he looked like. He'd taken a hell of a lot of something or other, a lot of sugar. He was very excited, wasn't he, on the dance at one point.
Yes. so that's why I told you to be there. Right?
Yeah, that's right. You never quite know what will happen at a political rally in Hong Kong. But going back to the issue to do with Tsang Yok-sing, I mean, it is typical in some ways of Hong Kong, isn't it, that when push comes to shove, that a guy like that would be willing to do that, actually. Perhaps it was a slip of the tongue, I think, what he said. I don't quite know how that news came out, but it just goes to show that, when push comes to shove, he'll basically do whatever he's told, but by his guys, basically, and the government, and that's a tragedy, basically. But it looks like, in reality, it might come down to one vote, actually, because apparently the government has to find 40 votes, it says here in the newspaper, and they look like they need, I think, 3 or 4 deserters amongst the 25 Pan Democrats in order to push it through, basically. So it's going to be very, very tight. And so it might actually be coming... he's come out to say that in order to sort of lay down to prepare people for it, that it actually might come down to it. But we'll have to see quite how that plays out, I think. Talking of political weasels also, Pamela Pack has been behaving... Simon, she turned up at one of the democracy rally, didn't she? Is that right?
That's right, with her boyfriend.
Right, okay.
The other functional constituency electoral member, Pearce.
Yeah.
And then it was quite ironic because the whole theme of that rally was about to abolish the functional constituency. And then her boyfriend was accompanying her, and he was a functional constituency member. So he was in a rally that claims to abolish his own seat. So it was quite a fun situation there. But of course, what's even more ironic is that Pamela Pack claimed that, why were you here? And she was being booed by the people around her. And she said that, I have always been in a pro-democracy rally. I mean, every July the 1st I was there. But lots of reporters who have been covering the July the 1st rally every year thought that, how could we miss Pamela Pack? We have never seen her. So people were saying that Pamela Pack was really taking advantage of whatever she can in order to grab the media attention this time.
The only comment that we can make, maybe it's... love makes people blind. The Superman beside her, just forget who he is and just follow her.
and also, Matt, one of her slogan in the election is "Kick the mad dog out."
Right.
Yeah. So I think he's just like doing any sort of like personal attack and make Raymond looks bad. It is final duty, right?
Well,
ultimately
she is going to group up with Raymond Wong's enemy to fight against Raymond Wong. So it might be a wise choice to join the pro-democratic party.
In the meantime, it was quite an interesting fight because while, as Ken said, you have Pamela Pack running against Yokman Raymond Wong. In the meantime, Pamela Pack herself also got some other candidate who was biting her fiercely, which is Lam Yi-lai, another lady candidate. Miss Lam. In many times, she attacked her and repeatedly asking the same question. How would you run a campaign just running against people without standing for anything? I mean, it's just like anti-campaign. I just want to kick Raymond Wong out. That's it. And then, and nothing else. And what makes you do so? I mean, how would you, what makes you qualified to say that? That's what the other candidate, Ms. Lam, kept asking her, which made it pretty interesting, I think.
Right, and I think we've almost run out of time for part one. Just before we go, I want to ask you about the who would you vote for the UK election? By the way, you guys, I'm interested to know as a British guy myself, who would you go for? A lot of people are saying the Lib Dems are
just like Harry Potter is also putting his
yeah, that's right. I mean that's the big political story of the UK election is that the Lib Dems are becoming a serious contender for the they're being taken seriously and have got a chance of winning, but potentially. I mean, would you vote for those guys, or would you go for the Tories, or would you go for the would you stick? Would you vote for Labour?
I would say no Gordon Brown.
No, definitely not Gordon Brown.
Definitely not Gordon Brown.
Right.
I'm still thinking if I have a chance, but I choose Cameroon.
Right, you give him a chance.
I think it's more powerful to choose to let the Conservative Party come up again because they have more experience.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like he's going to win, I think. And as you get closer to it, it's interesting. I can kind of see what's happening as you get closer to election day. There's a lot of people who sit on the fence and they like to back a winner, don't they? Yeah. And so I expect that's what will happen. We'll have to see quite how that plays out.
And there's no real, true leftist choice. In the UK at the moment.
That's
true.
The
third road, and you have the Lib Dems, which is centrist left. I mean, you don't have a real choice this time, Matt.
You're absolutely right. And
maybe you should go back right now and register.
Maybe. I mean, the gap between the Tories and Labour and the Lib Dems is very close actually, and it needs more.
Who knows? They may form a coalition government.
That's true.
Just to make a joke, I would vote Hugh Grant in Love Actually.
Yes, very good.
That's the one.
We've run out of time for part one. We'll be back in a minute for part two.